In response to the growing need of seniors facilities in Kelowna, the IHA contracted Baltic Properties to build this new facility behind me. The highest interest rates you can find in Canada are on department store credit cards like Sears and the Bay. Their annual interest rates are at 29.9%. At one point, clockmaking was one of the highest paid trades in Europe. Now it's become a dying profession.
Would you trade your warm bed for a freezing piece of cardboard? 5 students from UBC Okanagan are doing that and more for an awareness campaign called 5 Days of Homelessness. Alexandra Kennedy looks at why they're doing it and what the homeless population in Kelowna has to say about it.
Sadness, desperation, depression.
These are things Muriel Lindley sees every day as a homeless woman in Kelowna. She's fairly new to life on the streets. She says unexpected financial trouble gave her no other option.
And I've been here, Trevor, since Saturday. And God, I know what it is to be homeless now.
Alan Holmes, who didn't want to be shown on camera, has a similar story.
Me, I got laid off before Christmas and couldn't pay the rent. Lost my apartment in the middle of January.
It's stories like these that encouraged 5 UBCO students to do something they had never done before. They traded their beds, their homes, and even their showers to experience homelessness for 5 days on the university campus.
What we're doing is just a mere fraction of what the youth deal on a day-to-day basis.
Every night, the group sleeps on the pavement, and every day after attending class, they panhandle for donations.
It's a humbling experience, actually. Yeah, just knowing, like, just one day, and we're like, oh my gosh, it's only been 24 hours, and, you know, we're just curled up in a ball, and we're like, you don't want to move because you're, you know, trying to keep your body heat. And we just understand how, after doing that for, like, you know, weeks or months or even years, like, how that can change a person.
Shane Hewer has been on and off Kelowna streets for years, and while he's happy the students are raising awareness, he says it's not a realistic representation of homelessness.
I think if they wanted to get the full feel of being homeless and stuff, they'd have to come and spend a lot of time downtown in the Koi.
The students agree.
Because we don't know what it's like. Like, we're never really going to know until, I mean, hope to God not, but unless it happens to us, really.
Most of the homeless people we talked to said they're proud of what the students are doing.
Tell them they're very brave, and it's awesome that they do that. You know, how old are these kids? 20 years old, and they're willing to put themselves in that position. That's a bonus. That's awesome.
There's 24 universities that are participating in this fundraiser, and they'll be camping out right until Friday. In Kelowna, Alexandra Kennedy, CHBC News.
It makes me feel like the world's getting very cold.
This is how Vaughn Friesen feels about the world after finding out there was an attempted abduction in his neighborhood last night.
Shortly after 7, I had an officer at my door asking me questions about if I observed anything strange.
Tuesday evening, a 9- and 10-year-old girl were walking on the 34th block of 28th Avenue Southwest. It was near 6 o'clock that a man pulled up beside them in his car. He approached the youngest girl and grabbed her. She screamed and kicked, which is exactly what the Calgary police say a child should do in a situation like this.
We would recommend that they scream, that they fight out and do what they can to get away.
Inspector Kane says it would be a frightening situation for anybody to be in, but especially for a child.
Well, I'm sure that she's scared, and you know, we do have resources, and I'm sure that the parents will get her what help she needs.
A Canada Post worker who delivers mail in the neighborhood says it's not the kind of community you'd expect this to happen in.
I've never heard anything like that, no. I thought it was relatively safe.
The Southwest neighborhood has a number of schools, and Boundy wonders if the girls were playing after class.
My guess is that they were probably playing in one of the parks or something like that. There's a lot of schools around, so it worries me a little bit about kids being around.
And for neighbors like Vaughn Friesen, he wonders if that adage that it takes a community to raise a child is lost.
People aren't caring anymore. They're just more concerned that it's not my child.
For SAIT News File, I'm Alexandra Kennedy.
Free your pennies from their prisons at home and those jars they're in and give them to charity.
With those words, Finance Minister Jim Flaherty announced the penny would soon be history. We wanted to find out if Canadians still find value in the penny. So we're conducting an experiment. I have 30 pennies in my hand, and I'm going to drop one on the ground here to see if anyone finds value in it enough to pick it up. We hid and waited. People in the mall strolled by, busy about their business. 4 minutes went by. Some shoppers noticed the penny but couldn't be bothered to pick it up. But then we saw this man. Excited because he was the first one to retrieve the staged coin, we ran to catch up with him. We asked him why he picked it up.
It's there. If nobody wants it, I'll take it.
We had a man pick up our first penny within 5 minutes, so we placed another penny thinking we'd have the same result, but no one picked it up and we waited 15 minutes, so we're adding 4 more pennies. We waited some more and wondered, why isn't anyone picking up 5 pennies? That's worth a nickel. We had people come by and consider nabbing the coins, but in the end deciding against it. Then, this cleaning woman walked towards the pile. We held our breath. We were surprised at what happened next. The pennies were being trashed. We still had 25 pennies left. We put out 5 more pennies and waited. After nobody took the bait, we put out the rest. After about 4 minutes, we had some takers.
In Germany, to pick up a penny or to find a penny, it means it brings luck to a person. So we picked it up.
Good.
And there are so many, we think it brings many luck for us.
There were no kids, no teens, and no young adults that even considered picking up the pennies. So maybe it's only the older generation that still finds value in 1 cent. Whether or not that's true, the Canadian penny has been snatched from our lives whether we like it or not. In Kelowna, Alexandra Kennedy, CHBC News.